This is Spare Parts, your show for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Stephen Cleary, Sean Cavarella, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Welcome to Spare Parts. I am your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And we are missing Taylor at the moment. But
Lost somewhere on the TTC.
She'll get here, but we have timetables to meet, so she'll join us halfway or whenever she gets off the train. Steven, how are you?
Well, not so bad. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I want to yell at Twitter, but that's about it.
Yeah, we've finally made it big. We've been suspended from Twitter.
Yeah, when you get copyright striked for posting clips of the race, yeah, that's someone's seen you and are not happy about it, so that makes me feel good.
It's weird how I've been doing that for like 2 years now, and all of a sudden our biggest social media day done.
Yeah, so I'll be arguing that for us and telling them to shove it.
Nice.
Well, it's not like they're going to listen to this. Apparently, they only like our tweets. So
yeah,
we'll see by this weekend if we get our Twitter account back. If not, may have to make a new one. And not the greatest, but I mean,
now we know.
If we have to do some rebranding, we'll do some rebranding.
Yep,
that's basically it. So, a lot of racing stuff this week.
Yeah. And all on road courses.
Yes. So
somehow,
what do we want to start with? Because there was a large amount of shit this week. So you had F1, you had IndyCar, you had NASCAR, you had Le Mans, you had Isle of Man.
Oh God.
What? Oh Godding at the Isle of Man?
Yeah. Do we want to go through that?
I just want to say the Isle of Man race is the stupidest, craziest, ballsiest fucking event in the world. Everyone that competes in it, you have my respect. I also think you might be insane. And I would not trust you driving anywhere near me. That being said, it is fucking stupid. Too many people get killed at this race. And maybe it's time to either change it or find something better. So. Yeah. Condolences to the 5 people killed this year.
Yeah, including the roughest one was the father-son team. Right?
Yeah, I can't imagine what that family's going through. That is brutal.
No.
But yeah, I hate that race. I cringe every time I see an article of it. But at the same time, it is pure insanity but pure speed too. They are flying through those fucking streets.
Yep.
It's something to see. It really is. But at the same time, it's hard.
Yep.
So, taking a quick right turn away from that.
Always.
Do you want to start with Le Mans?
Yeah, we can start with Le Mans.
Because, I didn't care for it this year.
No, it honestly, did it sneak up on you too?
Yeah, it snuck up on me. I'm just going to type in the results here so I can at least go over them again.
Do you want to take a guess at who won?
Was it a team from Japan? Just gonna throw that one out there.
Might be the team that's won it the last 4 years and now made it 5.
So Toyota won again, which I don't think is really a surprise to anyone because they're really the only competition out there at the moment.
Yep.
Now, next year, everything is going to change.
Yes.
Which kind of makes me sad that this year's sucked so much. Okay, I shouldn't say sucked. I just felt like there was no fanfare, no hype around it. It's just like, oh yeah, Le Mans this weekend. Here it is.
Yep.
Same time as Baku. Like the race started the same time as qualifying.
Yep.
I know which one I'm going to watch. Sadly, it wasn't going to be the one that had 23 hours left in it.
Yeah. Would have been a little premature to watch that.
Just a bit.
But
yeah, so Le Mans. What do you think of Le Mans? Do you think there should be more fanfare around it? Is this
You'd like
year
to think
going to be a
so.
one-off? Or where do we go from here with the race, I guess?
What happens next year? That's when the LDMH cars come in, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that could help generate some hype. You see what the new cars have brought with NASCAR and with, I almost said IndyCar for some reason, even though they haven't changed their cars in over 10 years.
I mean, speaking of Le Mans, next year, NASCAR will be there.
Yep.
So that'll even be more fun to it.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. You get the new car in, maybe some different competition. That'll help generate some buzz. And this year, you just sort of treat it as a write-off because it seems like a lot of people are we're sort of pulling out of this sort of stuff.
There was 5 cars, I think, in the lead class.
Yeah. So
it was not a good competition. It was a race, I'll give it that, but competition to win was not there.
Yeah.
You had in the top hypercar class 2 Toyotas,
yep,
1 Alpine, and 2 Glickenhaus.
Yep.
So, yeah, the Toyotas won by like 5 laps. Like, it's not even close. So,
yeah, the gap to the last car was 18 laps, and that was the Alpine.
Yeah, they had a rough day.
Yep. So, again, with the new car next year, maybe we see a bit of a revival, similar to NASCAR and F1. That's the hope, anyways.
I think so, because next year you're going to have, I think, Ferrari in there. You're going to have all of the LMDH cars, I believe.
Yep.
And just going to pull up on that is Acura, BMW, Cadillac, Porsche. All of those cars are going to be in next year. So I think that'll be fun.
Yep. So I think you'll see some extra hype with this being the first time to see the new car going around each track. You'll see more hype for each race, starting with Daytona.
Yeah, I think, but I don't think the hypercars can compete at Daytona though. Can they?
I thought they could.
I can't remember. Maybe. Ugh.
But either way, that's free advertising right there.
Yes.
Just come check out this new thing at the same place and see what happens.
But just
done.
Just the level of competition between manufacturers. Like what? That's 8 manufacturers at the longest race, the best endurance race, the most prestigious one. Yeah, that should have hype on it next year. If it doesn't, if it sneaks up on us like it did last year, the people at Le Mans have failed.
Yep.
I think that's fair to say.
Yep. So here's hoping.
Yes.
But not holding my breath because that's still a year away. So
in, I guess, Le Mans news. So not only did Toyota win, which the winning drivers were Sebastian Buemi, Brendan Hartley, and Ryo Hirakawa. So that was your winning hypercar. Then you have your winning LMP2, which was the Joda entry by Roberto Gonzalez, Antonio Felix Acosta, and Will Stevens.
Yep.
Yeah, they won, I think, by a lap over, at least in final timing, by the car that was Robert Kubica's team. So,
yep.
And then you have in the GTE Pro, that was the Porsche team. They That was a good fight, actually, the Porsche with the, I think it was the Ferrari they fought. Yeah,
Yes.
They at least were close in terms of being at the end of the same lap, you know?
Yep. Relative and not like same lap, but almost getting lapped.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had it for, what was it? What was the last one? GTM. That was, Aston Martin won that one. So, wide range of,
Aston Martin can win things?
Okay. Uncalled for. I mean, I'm not seeing a Ferrari anywhere on that list. Oh wait, Taylor's not here yet. We can't make fun of her. We'll save those
No,
jokes.
You can.
Yeah, it's fair. She wouldn't hear this part. She doesn't listen.
No.
So yeah, that's kind of all I got in Le Mans. I don't really have a whole much other to add on that one. You? Anything?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I mean, we were sort of busy doing other stuff.
Yeah. There was a lot going on this weekend, and and my truck died. That was a great one for this weekend to be driving home, and my old ass Ford Ranger was found on road dead. Ha ha ha.
R.I.P. Sheila.
Yes. Well, okay, we're trying to save her. We don't know if she's dead yet.
Yep. She's on life support.
Yeah. We'll
she
see.
had a good run. She made it over the 500.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for these days.
500,000. That's all you need. We'll see where that ends up. So.
Yep. Go get yourself like a Prius or something now.
I mean, with gas prices, I'm just gonna get some. Or one of those like pedal cars.
Yeah, you can go with Flintstone's car.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't try it in the winter. It'll suck.
Unless, what if you? Okay, but then you just put like snowshoes on, and then you get more grip. Huh?
What about the tires? How are you putting grip on those? It's rock.
Yeah, but like your feet are the brakes anyway.
Yeah.
So you can just turn it with your feet. It's fine. Or do the
Okay.
Flintstones thing where you stand up and rotate the car around your body.
Okay.
You know, it's all good. It's all good.
It's your medical expenses, bud.
That's fine. I can afford them. Maybe.
Okay. Actually, yeah, we're in Canada. We're fine.
Exactly. So, NASCAR this weekend. So, NASCAR was off the ovals and on Sonoma.
Who could have predicted this podium?
It definitely was I don't want to say didn't predict it. I did bet Suarez to win.
Yeah, there you go. That's why you wanted to start with NASCAR.
I'm just saying. So, I did predict the winner. Everything else.
I was gonna say, if you somehow predicted second and third, one, your payout's amazing. Two, what magic lamp are you looking into?
Yeah, Suarez, Busher, McDowell. That was your top three this week for the Sonoma NASCAR race. Honestly, it was a good race.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Good. And two of the favorites sort of screwed themselves as well.
Care to explain?
What was it? Chase Elliott almost left with a loose wheel, right? He put it in reverse after they said come back, after he saw his crew like all signaling to everybody come back.
That's heads-up driving. Not a lot of guys would do that, to be fair.
Nope. I'm looking straight ahead.
Yeah. You're trusting everyone to do their job right.
Or, if anything, you're looking in the rear right, not the rear left, where you could actually see your team.
Yeah.
But his nose was still outside his box, so therefore it's technically working on the car outside the box, so that's a penalty. Wah, wah. And then, so he brought it home, still brought it home eighth, which is surprising. But I guess his was a stage 2 penalty, whereas Kyle Larson was a stage 3, so it's a little bit tougher to recover from.
Yeah.
But he had a loose wheel going up through turn 2, climbing the hill, and that thing just took off.
We've seen more of those this year.
Yep.
And thankfully no one's punted one yet, but
yep. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty close. There was, I mean, the one car probably helped it get loose as he was turning right, but he was already past. So.
I wonder if you're going to see more penalties in the future, though, like harsher for the loose wheel. You know?
Maybe.
Because what's the penalty now? Drive through?
I think it's drive through. I know Chase made the change with 2 laps to go, so I think he had to just go to the back of the line. I think that's what it was.
I'm grabbing my phone to look up the actual penalty technically.
Yeah, because I remember they were explaining Mike Joy was explaining his penalty, and it was sort of weird.
Well, the out of the box one's the out of the box, right?
Yeah. But it was also at the end of the stage, so he couldn't really, if it is a drive-through, he couldn't really do a drive-through penalty because they closed the pits for the last lap. So
you get a minimum 4-race suspension for the crew. Crew chief, tire changer, and tire carrier of the lost wheel. So that could be a detriment if Hendricks lost. Well, I guess the chase one doesn't count. That's working on it. Yeah, but if he had both lost it, being down quite a few guys.
Yep. 2 chiefs and 4 crew members.
Yeah, that's a situation you don't want to end up in, right?
Yeah. No.
Personally, actually, I think those are kind of fair penalties, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, did you find the loose wheel one yet, or?
Yeah, that is the loose wheel one. It's the suspension.
Oh, okay. But no, like in race. Like, what's the in race?
There
has to be one for in race. It's probably a drive through.
Probably. That's technically the old one, actually. That's not even the new one. I'm sure it's something that's appropriate. The suspensions, I think, are warranted if you lose a wheel, especially now, because, yeah, if those get punted, they can become a danger, not only for drivers, but track workers and fans. So, yeah, you should get in trouble if you lose one.
For sure.
Are you looking it up too?
I'm also looking it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
That's
not finding anything right.
Yeah,
Not finding anything.
Gonna be great podcast content of 2 guys trying to scroll and find what the rule is. Yeah, we'll skip right by that. So yeah, Suarez won and became the first Mexican driver to win a top tier NASCAR race. Good for him.
Someone had the foresight to bring a giant piñata of a taco.
Okay, how long has that been sitting in someone's truck?
Exactly.
I'm gonna guess since Daytona. Someone's had that waiting, but
just ready to chuck it, and they just sort of chucked it in front of the car.
So, on Suarez's win, is Trackhouse Racing a top team? Considering they've had both their drivers win this year?
I wouldn't necessarily say top team, but competitive.
Are they a B team?
B team. Solid B team. Could be, I don't know, like a best of the rest sort of thing. But yeah, getting 2 wins from both of your drivers. Yeah, that's fantastic.
I mean, they have 3 wins on the season.
Yep.
How many wins does a team like Joe Gibs have on the season?
Good question.
And looking at, I guess, NASCAR standings, is a guy like a Ross Chastain a dark horse?
Can you really call a guy in second place a dark horse?
I mean, going into the season, yeah.
Yes, going into the season, but...
And, like, I think they're a legitimate championship team. Ross Chastain is still plus 1,000 odds. Just pulling that up right now.
There you go.
So, according to the odds makers, yeah, he is still a dark horse.
Yep. But not nearly as much of a dark horse as it would have been at the start of the season, so...
That is true. However, is also now a guy like a Suarez a dark horse candidate? Now that he has he's guaranteed to make the playoffs with a win, right?
Yep. 17th, so it's a long way to climb, but there's still lots of track to cover.
Long way to climb, but again, if playoffs start, he's at least guaranteed with the wins. So he hops over everyone who doesn't have a win. So if you're making, what is it? It's 16 for the playoffs, I think. Like most sports, they do 16.
Yeah.
So Suarez is going to get in there. And maybe with some confidence now, we'll see how he goes the rest of the season.
Yep.
But it seems like Trackhouse is just kind of almost in a full sprint right now. They're looking pretty good. At least
So hopefully they don't
season.
tire out by the end.
That is true. Yeah, I'm hella impressed with how they've done after because they bought up all of Chip Ganassi's stuff and basically became, I don't want to say a new operation, but under new management, and maybe because under Ganassi they kind of weren't doing a whole lot. They had the resources.
It was like a side project almost.
But like that's a team that had resources. It had money.
Yeah.
How did they not produce results? Now you have a team that I guess probably has equal time money. A lot of the same people still there. Now it's working. What's changed? Is it having a guy like a Ross Chastain as a team leader? Has he been the difference for this program? And if that's the case, is Ross Chastain going to get picked up maybe by a bigger team that can write a bigger check?
Definitely possible.
Like he's a guy I think silly season wise people should be looking out for. Yeah, I don't know what his contract is or necessarily how long he is signed for. It just says like they were signed to multi-year deals, so who knows? And again, like all deals in motorsports, right? Enough money, you're out of it. So I am curious how that will end up. If you could see Chastain going to any team, who would you see him going to?
Well, who would you see going out is, I guess, the better question. 'Cause who are you kicking off of one of the top teams?
Well, one team is in need of a serious rebuild because all their guys are old as fuck and pushing retirement, it seems.
And who would that be?
Joe Gibbs.
There you go.
So
there's your answer.
You know, I'm just gonna say that if he is not in Joe Gibbs in 2 years, that team has failed.
You got Kyle Busch. Yeah, he's born in 85. Don't even want to know when Truex is.
Isn't Truex was like 40?
He's 5 years older than Kyle Busch.
Yeah, Christopher Bell is their young guy. Yes, there's quite a few. I don't want to say old guys, but you know, for
longer in the tooth, gray beard, experienced.
Yes.
There you go.
Vagabonds? Huh?
There you go.
But yeah.
Yeah, they could use some younger talent, that's for sure.
Of all the top NASCAR teams, they're the one who is not getting younger quicker.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, all their older guys are still competitive.
But they're not dominant, you know?
No. Well, I mean, Denny's got 2 wins, but he hasn't been great otherwise. Like last season was sort of weird because he couldn't win, but had all the top 10s. This year he's got 2 wins, but only 3 top 5s and 3 top 10s. And he hasn't finished 4 times. So he was a lap leader last year, and this year he's not.
So going into this year, we were talking about the kind of how every manufacturer kind of has their big team. With Chevy, it's Hendrick, right?
Yep.
And like every manufacturer has an A team and a B team. For Chevy, it's Hendrick, and the B team seems to be now Trackhouse.
Yep.
Could have made an argument for Richard Childress, but I think Trackhouse has definitely taken in that role of the B Chevy team. Ford, it was, I want to say Penske with Stuart Haas. Again, they're kind of A minus, B plus, both of them. They're kind of competing, but they're not the dominant team of that manufacturer. And Toyota, you just have Joe Gibbs. If you look at those...
No.
Okay, 2311 is an offshoot of Joe Gibbs. Fuck off. It counts.
Technically.
So, if you were looking at the 3 big teams and the B teams, every team has in place some kind of plan for the future. Right?
Yep.
Like Trackhouse, rather young. Chastain and Chastain and Suarez, rather young. They are a good core to build around at Trackhouse. Okay, you can do that. Hendrick, Larson, Elliott, Byron, Bowman. All good. All younger, kind of in their prime.
How old do you think Ross Chastain is?
Is he like 28?
He's 30.
Okay, he's 30.
But, I mean, relative, that is still kind of young.
Yeah, like that's getting into the prime, right?
Yeah.
Like, Chase Elliott's what, 26? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson.
They don't have
Yeah, Kyle Larson's 29 also. So, like, yeah, in that prime kind of window. The youngest guy at Joe Gibbs is Christopher Bell. Okay, that may be a guy you look at as building around the future. Still 27, still pretty up there in age. I think it was a quote from Truex this week about retiring. I believe Truex will be done at the end of the year. I truly believe that.
42 now, so
yeah. Joe Gibbs will need to fill that spot. I think Chastain would be a fantastic driver to fill said spot. If it's not Chastain, I don't know who else you'd get. Maybe Austin Dillon, but again, not young, but in their prime kind of in terms of driver.
yeah, you're looking for a sideways move, not a rebuilding move.
Yeah.
Which would be like Ty Gibbs.
True.
Because he's on NASCAR site, he's showing as part of the team, even though he doesn't really race. He's there. He's in the Xfinity. He's in the pipeline.
Yeah, he's definitely in the pipeline.
Him and Brandon Jones. So
I just don't. You can't go full young. You need someone in their prime. Joe Gibbs has no one in their prime. They've ever on the back nine, and one guy just on the first tee. You gotta fucking do something.
Yeah. Well, and who knows? Denny could step out at any time. He's already part owner of a team, so he's already got his eye
On
halfway off the track. So
yeah. Taylor has finally got here and joined us. Thank you, Taylor.
Hello.
That was a perfect time because we had just finished talking about NASCAR.
Wow, perfect timing.
I know. Look at you.
it's almost like she sensed it.
But you know what? I'm a little miffed because this week was like the first week in a long time I actually prepared for a NASCAR discussion.
Okay. Then give us your quick thoughts on what you thought of the NASCAR race then.
2-minute summary.
2-minute summary. Give us your thoughts. 2 minutes max.
Good result for Suarez. And I didn't pay much attention beyond that.
You know what? That's kind of the spark notes of it anyway.
Good. Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It looked like a typical NASCAR race. So, yeah. But good for Suarez. Is that his first win? That's his first win on the season,
yes.
correct?
He's the first ever first Mexican to win in NASCAR. Good
for him.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. Okay, so what's next?
Now we can talk F1, and we can make fun of Ferrari. Isn't that right, Steven?
Oh, I see how it is. You guys waited for the Ferrari fan to come.
I mean, how else do you do it?
You can admit it. You can admit it. It's fine. It was a very terrible week for Ferrari. Yeah, the only thing that made it somewhat better was the possibility of my first ever F1 bet coming true, and then it didn't because Verstappen won. So,
oof.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're gonna talk betting quickly, everyone's favorite topic nowadays in sports betting. I had a heartbreaking one because I bet for both Red Bulls, or at least one of the Red Bulls, not to podium. And I bet for both Mercedes to podium. Oh. I spent the last 10 laps of the race just praying a Red Bull engine would fail. It did not. I lost. And I was sad. But my God, I was like, please, please.
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry that you had heartbreak, but okay, like, can we just talk about how disappointing Baku was?
As
Just
a
for
race?
like, yes, like in terms of the reputation it has to be an absolute crapshoot, and barely anything happened.
Yeah, honestly, the only people that hated Baku were Ferrari engine manufacturers. Like, the people who make Ferrari engines, they're the only people that hate it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it was a boring-ass fucking Baku. Like, it seemed like they couldn't get close enough on the straights to make a good move. There was the porpoising or the bouncing off the ground. A lot of people complaining about that.
Yeah, so F1 drivers are going to have back problems for the next, like, 15 years.
Yeah, I think Steven unplugged his mic because he's trying to talk and nothing's coming through.
Oh. No.
It's okay. He'll get in, get his word on eventually. It's fine.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Oh, there you are.
Way to go.
I don't know what's going on with it, but whatever.
It's okay.
Saying Hamilton looked like he was broken getting out of the car.
Yeah, that was rough.
Which we got a response from someone who was like, he should quit acting. And I was like, okay, he might be playing it up a bit. This wouldn't be the first time he's played stuff up for the media, but you could see it and you could hear the porpoising going down the straight. And it's like, that would be uncomfortable for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Like, if you can hear it on the broadcast, you can only imagine how painful it is to actually be, like, in the car dealing with that. And, like, y'all know, I'm the first one to be like, hey, yo, like, he's probably acting, but, like, nah. He was probably in a lot of pain.
Yeah, are we sure that person who tweeted stop acting wasn't Taylor's burner account?
Probably
It's
was.
not my burner account. I don't have a burner account, okay? At least I'm not suspended from Twitter, so...
Oh, that's harsh, yep. It's okay, we already talked about that, don't worry.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, okay, it's fine. At least I got my burn in.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, you technically kind of are. You're part of this team, aren't you?
Yeah, she is.
So...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
technically we all
self-burn.
got suspended.
Yeah.
Self-burn.
So, yes, unfortunately, Hamilton had a very bad weekend. And probably compressed spine in some regards.
I wonder how it's going to turn out for Montreal.
Don't bet on Hamilton for Montreal is what I would say.
Oh.
I don't know why you would be anyways. He's not even the best driver in his team.
Yeah. George Podium, for sure. Definitely do that.
Yeah. Mr. Consistency.
Exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I might have bet for him to win.
Yeah, I won on a George Russell boosted podium.
Well done. I
Well done.
won Vettel.
Top 6.
Vettel top 6. That's what I got.
Very nice. Very nice.
It was kind of upsetting. He could have been higher.
He could have
But
probably beaten or at least competed against Lewis if he didn't have that mistake earlier in the race.
Yeah. Well, he probably would have been like somewhere in between. He probably would have been like 50 seconds back, 60 seconds back.
So I guess where do you want to begin for Baku? Red Bull dominating, Red Bull fucking over Perez.
You say, did they really this time?
For sure. He had 2 stops in the 5 seconds.
That was pretty not great.
Yeah. And it's
Well,
funny. It's funny he has long pit stops a week after Jos Verstappen says, "Well, they should have helped Max win."
Yeah, I know.
Coincidence?
I think not.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that you have to. I don't know. We have to assume at this point, like Jos probably has some pull in the F1 or in the Red Bull garage, but I mean the guy is such a raging asshat. But yeah, it sucks because Checo is on, like, he's been on a tear the last few races. He's just been so consistent and just like constantly up there. And I think we're still gonna see like great things from him as the season goes forward. But like it just sucks when Red Bull doesn't see that, there should be a balance in who they prioritize depending on like who's showing more pace than the other, instead of it being one-sided towards Verstappen all the time, like still like kind of putting him out there as their golden boy that they invest everything in. Despite Checo being like the first driver in so long that they actually signed like a 2-year contract instead of like 1 year.
Yeah.
The first backup driver to Max that's competent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if Max somehow has a failure next race and Perez goes on to win and somehow actually starts competing against Max for the championship, it's going to be a very awkward garage at Red Bull, I would say.
It's very possible. He's only 31 points back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And a long way to go.
So maybe,
yeah, but
maybe that should be Ferrari's strategy next race. Because we know they can't do the full race. So by the first corner, if you just take Max out so that Perez wins, then maybe in a couple races there's enough tension between them, they start taking each other out, and then Ferrari, if they can manage to somehow finish a race, actually gets the championship.
Well, your strategy to get Ferrari back in this is they should intentionally crash and put Red Bull on tilt.
No. Intentionally crash Verstappen to
Yeah,
basically
that's what I
just
mean.
give points to Perez.
what is this? Okay, what is all of this like Ferrari slander? Why can't we just say that about the Mercs?
I mean, Ferrari
It
makes
always
its own
has to be
slander.
Ferrari, isn't it?
They slander themselves. It's not my fault.
Also, why
You
would the
Mercs
Mercs want to do that? They would just be like, okay, no, we're not going to do that because if you guys do it, we're only 30 points back of you. You guys we can start slowly catching up and then just slip right past.
I mean,
You know what? This just makes me sad.
yeah. It's unfortunate. I don't know what happened to fucking Ferrari engines though this week.
I
Was
don't
it
know.
4 out of 6?
Yep.
Yeah, 4 out of 6. We have to assume that they're going to be bringing a power unit upgrade to Montreal. Like, we have to assume that at this point that
If
they're
they
going to
don't,
try.
I doubt they make the race. Like
Yes.
the race distance. Montreal is a power-hungry track.
Yes. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they're going to fix whatever issue, but like the problem was that there was 2 different things going on, right? Like, Carlos had a hydraulic failure. So, and then everybody else had a power unit failure. So they've got to figure out a couple of things that went wrong last weekend before Montreal. And I really hope that they figure it out because, yeah, you know what? Like, I really need Ferrari to have a good race.
We'll get to Montreal in a bit. We'll get to there because I want to ask you about that.
One last thing on the engines. Isn't it funny how the first 3 races it was like, oh no, is Red Bull gonna have the reliability to keep pace with Ferrari? And now it's completely switched.
Uno reverse card.
Yeah, like we were all talking about reliability issues with Red
Horner,
Bull, and now
yeah.
here we are,
Yep,
almost
Horner,
halfway
yeah.
through the season.
Yes.
Oh,
I agree-
how the
I agree with-
turns table.
Yes, I agree with Sean. Horner has he's looked through the book and he's like, oh no, we can't keep up, and hands out in reverse to Matteo.
And Mercedes is just there to clean up the scraps.
Exactly.
Oh, you know, Toto is just like, ha, 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 ha. He's just waiting for everybody to fail.
I don't know. He
Yes.
also called his own car a shitbox this week. So
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. And he said we're not competing for
Whatever.
championships. Oh, what a defeatist attitude.
oh god.
Whatever, Toto, like, yeah, oh my gosh. It's just, he makes me mad too, to be honest. Like, I used to love Toto, and then it's just his attitude going, like, in the season, and just him, like, still catering towards, like, Hamilton, even though you have Russell, who's, like, consistently up in the points and consistently in the top 6, at least. It's like, oh, the car's a shitbox. Like, is it really? Or is your star...
The Mercedes is a shitbox, though.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad. It's not terrible.
No, it's not. They're still the 3rd best fucking car. Though, who's the 4th best car on the grid right now?
Oh, it's tough.
If you had to actually guess the 4th best car on the grid, who would you say? I think next week will be an interesting week to actually see which team is truly fourth. Because the midfield's been all over the place.
It has been. I want to say, I don't know. Honestly, that one's super, super tough to answer because, yeah, it's just been all over the place.
I may have a hot take here, and this may be my green bias coming through. I think the Aston is the fourth best car.
No, Sean, stop.
Vettel's been in Q3 the last two races since the upgrade. Vettel has done very well and has been consistently he was 6th this race, was it 10th race before, and in Spain, just at the points 11th. That car is getting better, and as Vettel has figured out, Vettel had good pace this week.
Yeah, he did.
He arguably was best of the rest after the Mercs. If he didn't make that mistake, like we said, he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I would agree with that, but here's the thing with you and Aston Martin, though. Every single season, since last year.
I want to believe in Vettel, okay? I love Vettel too much.
Fair enough. Everybody loves Vettel. But
it's not so much.
You just, at some point, you gotta call it and be like, this might not be their year. And
I don't think every single year. I think they could be better than they've shown so far. And Vettel has kind of proven that, I think, last race.
Okay, fine. I'll give you one more race to convince me that this is true.
When Vettel gets 5th in Montreal,
okay.
I am placing him 5th. Assuming a Ferrari shoots himself in the foot at some point during the race as well.
Yeah, it's pretty safe.
Yeah, so.
Rude.
So just assume that either Leclerc's engine goes pop or Sainz somehow dives into the gravel because he's got a weird obsession with it.
He couldn't find gravel this week, so he just went to the off-road instead. Or the escape road.
There's a really funny YouTube channel that was that just does really random race reviews. And their thing was that Hamilton threw all his jewelry off to try and fix the porpoising, and it somehow broke the castle, creating a gravel trap, and Sainz drove into it because he loves gravel.
What the fuck?
I don't know. It's so random.
Okay.
It's a random Spanish thing that's obsessed with Alonso.
That's fair.
But it's so entertaining.
I was gonna say, speaking of interesting things, Ricciardo finally beat Norris. And Norris wasn't too happy about it. Nope, no, he was not.
He was not happy about that.
Nope.
That team's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. I really didn't love Lando's attitude towards the end of the race when he was showing how unhappy he was, because dude, you've placed in front of him pretty much every race of the season except for this one. You're coming down to the final laps. Do you really have to complain about finishing behind him? It's not a terrible finish. And he had he had a decent race.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had good pace. He was faster than him at one point. Team ordered by him. Mm-hmm. And at the end, Norris I want that spot back. Well, you didn't really earn it now, did you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
they put Ricciardo on a less
favorable.
Yeah, and they put Ricciardo on a less favorable strategy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because Norris has been better over the season doesn't mean he has to get the points every single time.
Yep.
Exactly. So it kind of came off as this almost entitled attitude that I'm not loving. If Lando is going to kind of continue in that vein, it's I don't love that because it reeks too much of Hamilton being top one for so many years that he just feels entitled to win. And I really hate that because just because you're a fantastic driver who is very consistent and wins races or comes out on top of the other person on your team, it doesn't mean that you're entitled to get that every single time. Ricciardo is just up there and he deserves to get those points too. It's not just you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, final thoughts. If you had to rank it out of 5, what would you give this Baku race?
2.
Yeah, 3.
I was going to go 3. Yeah, that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
I was expecting more.
It was.
Didn't get a whole lot.
The comedy factor was there with Ferrari.
That gave it an extra point for sure.
-5.
Okay. So this weekend, Taylor. So first, I'll preface with this. When we began this podcast, me and Steven had this idea of kind of wanting to kind of also travel to races, talk about them, do a podcast, and also be able to experience more racing around North America, do shit like that. And then a pandemic happened, and that never came to be. So Taylor, you get to be our first at-race correspondent of the podcast.
Yes.
Fuck you. You're going to the Canadian Grand Prix this weekend.
Yes.
What's your plans?
So, well, I leave Thursday morning to drive through 6 hours of rain, so that'll be super fun. But Friday morning, we're going to be at the race bright and early. We're going to catch all of the, events that they've got. Saturday will be super fun. And I'm really looking forward to the race on Sunday. We've got grandstand tickets for that, so...
where are you sitting?
We are sitting in grandstand 47, like right behind the track level. So kind of like right on, like, near the track side.
What corner are you at?
Yeah.
Oh, we are near corner 12.
Okay.
There we go.
Are you playing with Track Max too, Steven?
Yeah.
I believe it's right after the hairpin.
Okay. You're right at the Wall of Champions.
Yes.
Oh, that is a fantastic spot.
No.
I think.
Wait, you said 47, right?
I think 47. Am I mixing it up?
Yeah.
I might be mixing it up which
40.
side.
Yeah, Sean, that's not near the Wall of Champions.
Okay, sorry. 12 is the Wall of Champions corner. That's why I was confused.
16
okay.
is the Wall of Champions.
16?
16.
Okay.
The one I'm looking at on StubHub, anyways. 47 is the last one on the inside of the track.
Yeah, it's on the inside.
Exits the hairpin.
Okay, that's not a bad one.
Yeah, so as they're picking up speed, it'll be like our seats for the 500, where you can watch them go down the straight.
Oh, I cannot wait for a Ferrari engine to go pop right in front of Taylor.
Yep.
I'll take video, and I'll send it to you if it happens.
Yeah, we'll put them up on Twitter. Oh, fuck, never mind.
Oh, can't do that. Although it's my footage, so I think you could.
Yes.
We don't have a Twitter to put it on at the moment.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Hey, Sean, you want to go? It's $52 per ticket.
I got to golf this weekend.
Oh wait, hang on, sorry, that's Friday. Never mind.
Oh, hell no.
I wonder. I was like, why is it so cheap all of a sudden?
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
So, Taylor,
$100.
what do you want to see the most at the Canadian Grand Prix this weekend?
Oh, fuck no.
Well, okay. So I've made a lot of bets, which I feel like is not good, but I'm trying to like dampen my
This is how the
potential
addiction
disappointment.
starts. This is the addiction.
I know. See that I blame both of you. So what would be fantastic is if Russell had the fastest qualifying and won, because that would get me a lot of money.
In what fucking world?
You go on the long shot.
Okay.
Most bang for your buck.
No.
It's a $5 bet. It's a $5 bet, and I can get like what did it say? $2,000?
We're gonna have to have a talk with you about responsible betting.
Yeah.
What? It's $5.
You're one to talk. You put money on Lance Stroll.
Fuck off.
I don't have money on. I was gonna say. What was the bet? Let me see.
I don't have money on Stroll this weekend. Only on Vettel.
Sorry, it's a $10 bet from Bet Credits. That's a $2,000 net return.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk with you about how to use your bet credits. This is terrible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, bet enough Ferrari to win qualifying. But
I would love more than anything to catch a glimpse of Charles' jawline.
You can as he walks back to the paddock after his engine blows up again.
Sorry for everybody listening. I flipped him off.
Oh yeah, that's probably
He'll give a little disappointed wave and then.
Oh,
maybe you can catch some Charles tears.
Okay, you know what, you two? You guys were on my list of things that I was going to bring back things for you, but no, I'm striking your name off the list. No,
I'll take a piece of an Lance Stroll front wing when that flies off at some point.
Oh yeah,
that's not worth very much these days, especially
I'll
after
make my way to the Lance Stroll grandstand where he was like throwing hats a few years ago because like people wouldn't buy them.
Oh, oof. I think this year you might have more people supporting him because he's not in Williams.
Yeah.
I do think the actual Canadian Grand Prix this year could be kind of fun.
I think it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 drivers who have never actually raced at Canada.
Ooh, so we might see some good stuff.
Yeah, so that should be interesting to see how that one turns out.
Well, I'll keep y'all updated.
So, and it was originally forecasted to rain. Doesn't look like it anymore. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful
No, not
weekend.
for Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a great
That's
weekend.
Possibly not Friday, but definitely I think there's going to be sun on Saturday and Sunday, which will be great.
Yeah,
That'll be great.
rating qualifying would be kind of fun, but
That would be kind of fun. Oh, I'm bringing my rain stuff, so
just in case, always a good
who
thing to
cares?
have.
Just in case. Just in case.
Yes, Weather Network. I want Montreal, Wisconsin. That's obviously where I want.
I mean, clearly you just Googled wrong. Anyone else have any predictions of Montreal? The finally first race back there. It's been 2 years.
Someone's putting it in the wall. You know it.
The World
Maybe
Champions.
2. Yeah.
I hope.
And it won't be one of the champions.
I hope Lewis puts it in the World Champions. Just to add another one.
Yeah.
Or Max. Ooh, Max would be a fun one too.
Oh, yes. That would be fantastic for my bets.
I mean, yes, but yeah. I'm gonna predict a random person that we're not expecting on the podium. One of the non-big 3 on the podium.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
Sean's putting money on Vettel to podium.
Fuck off.
I put money on Vettel for top 6 and Magnussen for top 6.
Who?
Oh,
I wouldn't put a Ferrari engine in the top 6.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust a Ferrari engine in general.
But I did say Charles Leclerc for first driver to make a pit stop, so let's hope.
That is fair, I think.
Mm,
I'll go first. DNF Charles Leclerc.
yeah, there you go. That's probably safer.
Oh, this is so much fun. Taylor, you don't kill us, please. Put the knife down. Put the knife down. I know you have it.
It's metaphorical, but it's there.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to say someone not expecting on the podium is my bet.
Fair enough.
Steven?
I don't know. No Ferrari finishes.
Okay.
Lame.
That's such an easy take.
It
No.
is.
A Ferrari 1-2 would actually be really funny.
That would
That
be.
would be funny.
Because Montreal's also weird.
But
because
we're trying to make realistic bets. Come on.
See, Montreal is weird though because there is a large Ferrari fan base there. Like
There is a very large Ferrari fan base there.
Yeah, Gilles. Yeah, no shit. It's all because of the Gilles Villeneuve connection, and because of that, Quebec is kind of, I don't want to say like a mini Italy, but it's almost like a home race for Ferrari. It kind of is.
It kind of is. I know the Quebecois would not appreciate that, but
They won't listen to
who
this.
cares about them?
It's not in French. So yeah, I would love to see a good Ferrari 1-2 there, just for the crowd.
Yeah.
Do I expect that? Not at all. I would not expect that in the slightest.
No. But now you've put it out there, so maybe.
No, because I put it out there saying I wanted to see it. It's not going to happen.
No, yeah, fair.
Anything else? Anything else what you guys want to end up on?
No, I think we're pretty good. I know you got time constraints, and also
I gotta get out of here.
so next week we can do Canadian Grand Prix. We can go back to Road America with IndyCar because that's the one I actually won or picked the correct winner on. So
Nah, that's not important.
how coincidental you decided to skip that one, Sean? How
Time
coincidental.
restraints. Time restraints. I'm sorry. It's when you lose a car, you gotta become a taxi. So I gotta
Yeah,
I gotta go
there you
pick up Sarah.
There you go. And I just had a thought. We could also just outsource our buddy Neil as our correspondent. He's going.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we can get double
What?
double the footage if you want. Yeah.
Aw.
Let me text Neil now. Neil, take videos.
Yeah, we can get on that. Anyway, I I'm really bad doing the intros for this, so I don't really know how to kind of wrap it up. I feel like
It's all good.
I feel
Thanks
like one
for
of these.
listening, everybody.
I was gonna say like one of these days I'm just gonna cut it.
Thanks for listening to Spare Parts. Remember to follow the show on Twitter at sparepartspod and the hosts at Stephen Clary, at Sean Cavarella, and at Tate Moore.